It's halftime, and once again, Meet the Cardinals, the opportunity we have to talk to the Cardinal Stars about their on-the-court activities and off the court. And joining us is sophomore Lucas Antunez. And it's kind of hard to believe that I remember meeting both you and Brian Angola at a restaurant at Michael D's a couple years ago before you came to NIC. Does it seem like it's been a couple years?
Man, I don't know. It seems like it's been a long time, man. Long ride. Long 2 years, but we're here, man. We're here undefeated and ready to get the championship.
Let's talk a little bit about this team. Is this the best group of guys that you've ever been around? I know it's the best group of guys I've ever been associated with.
You know, I've been around some good players. Like when I was in Finley, we were undefeated until the last game of the season. But this is definitely one of the best teams I've ever been in. Great group of guys, great people out of the court. So I'm really happy with the season and how it's going.
So far, so good. Hey, champions of the Scenic West Athletic Conference. You got to be happy about that. But everybody quick to remind me and everybody else, still a lot of work to do.
Yes, sir. It don't matter what we've done so far because we want to go undefeated and win the national championship. So what we've done so far is good, but we still have a lot of work to do.
All right, I want to look at your stat line here. I got stats on just about everything. And Lucas averaging a little over 8 points, 3.5 rebounds, 7th in the conference in assists, 7th in the conference in steals, 1st in the conference in free throw shooting. You're quietly having an outstanding year because everybody looks at Brian and B.J. Blake, but you're having a great year. Talk about your year and how you think you're doing.
Well, everybody knows we have two great players, like outstanding offensive players like BJ and Brian, as you said, but they make life easy for me because all I got to do is give them the ball and they give me an assist. So, I'm just really happy to have a great group of guys around me. So it's been a real easy season for me because all I got to do is distribute the ball and they score. So, I'm happy for that.
It's nice. You go left, you got Brian. You go right, you got BJ.
And then we got shooters all over the place. We got Caleb. We got Trey. We got Haywood. We got Sammy. Everybody can score. Everybody can play good. Yeah. So if it's not Brian's night, it will be BJ's night. If not, it's Caleb. If not, it's Trey. So that's why it's hard to beat us.
That's got to be a point guard's dream.
I know, man. I'm just living the dream right now.
I'm living the dream, too, following these guys around. Your shot in the last 6, 7, 8 games is really starting to come around, and your confidence from especially beyond the arc, I think, is just as high as it's ever been. Are you feeling that as well?
Yes, sir. I started the season not very good, not shooting well from outside of the arc, and it's all about confidence. My coach Corey told me that I got to keep shooting because I'm a threat from there. I know I can shoot, and since I think it was the Salt Lake game that got my confidence up when I hit a few of them, and it's just been going in since then. Yeah.
What's the first thing that you always say to me when we come off the court? I go down there after I get my gear packed up and we talk. What's always the first thing that you say to me?
We always talk about free throws, threes, and assists. That's the first thing that comes to mind. Yeah. Yes, sir.
Lucas, I go, great game, Lucas. You had 20 points, 8 assists. And he goes, yeah, Richie, but I missed a free throw.
Man, I got to strive for greatness. You already know.
Do you talk to your dad? I know you talk to your dad all the time about that. What are some of the things that he explains to you? He, of course, everybody knows the story. He played with Arvydas Sabonis, one of the great all-time players. What are some of the things that he talks to you about the grind days in college basketball? Let's get back here. What does he say to you as it relates to advice that he gives you?
Well, he was a great point guard back in the day, so he always gives me advice. He always tells me to be aggressive, look to get assists, but if they let me wide open, I got to knock it down, and I got to just get buckets sometimes. So he always tells me to be aggressive, play hard, and, play 100% all the time.
Now, over the years, we've seen your trick shots where you combine soccer and, the back kick up on the basket. Have you ever thought, man, last game of the season or something like that, if we had a big lead, you ever thought about what would you like to do that in a ball game? Coach would get after you, but you ever thought about, man, wouldn't I love to do that?
Nah, not
kick it. Come on now.
Not kick it, but
That'd be you couldn't kick it. Yeah.
I like to have fun, so every time I have the opportunity to get a fancy assist or a flashy play, I like to do it. I know Corey gets a little mad sometimes, but I just like to have fun with basketball, so, I'll be throwing lobs and all that stuff. So, yeah.
He tries sometimes a fancy pass or something like that, and a lot of times it works because we got guys that can catch the ball and finish. But once in a while, if it doesn't, you'll see a player coming off the bench, and the hook is out there, don't you? Yeah. All right, let's talk about after basketball. I mean, who knows how long that'll be. Anything that you'd like to possibly do with your life after basketball?
I haven't really think about it, so but I'm a major in business probably. So I would like to have a little business. I don't know if a restaurant or maybe I don't know yet, but I would like to be an owner of a business for sure.
Owner of a brand,
maybe a brand, a clothes brand. I don't know, clothing brand.
That'd be nice. That'd be nice. You've been sidekick with Brian so long. You guys have a special bond. Do you talk about your last couple of years in Coeur d'Alene? Because the reality of it all, this will be your final years playing together. I mean, in reality, that will probably be the case. Do you guys talk about that at all? Let's go out with a bang or anything?
Nah, well, it's been a fun 3 years with Brian, and I love playing with him. We'll have like a special connection. I know what he wants to do every time. I know he's cutting, and I got him back. I got his back. But now we haven't really talked about it. That thing that is our last season together. We just play every game like it's a regular game. So.
We had a FIFA tournament here. So who was the winner of the FIFA tournament?
All right, I gotta clarify this.
Okay, no, all right, clarify.
All right, in doubles, BJ and Caleb are the best. But when we talk about one-on-one, nobody can beat me. Nobody.
So who was your doubles partner?
My doubles was Brian. But we don't really play doubles. We don't practice. We just play against each other. So we wasn't ready like that. But now after the season, we're gonna get ready, and they're gonna know.
That's what's so great about these guys, man. They're playing. They get their FIFA. I mean, they don't bring clothes to the games. They bring their Xboxes. Is that how that works?
Bring it to the tournaments, to the games.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. All right, shout out time. I know you want to say hi to your folks. Who else you want to say hi to?
Well, shout out to my family, my dad, my mom. They're probably watching right now. My sisters and all my friends back in Spain.
All right, now you got to give a shout out. Sammy wants a shout out. BJ wants a shout out.
You're right. Shout out to Sammy. Shout out to BJ. Shout out to Caleb, Brian.
You want the roster here?
They just
there's
like that
there's the roster.
There's a roster. All right, I'm gonna go one by one. I don't know their Instagram names. I'm sure they want it, but yeah, they just like to be in the camera all the time, man.
Lucas Antunez, another edition of Meet the Cardinals.